Good, happy Saturday morning, July 3rd, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's begin. First up, Concord Fire Chief deployed to Florida to help with efforts at building collapse. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Come see Darla and Hildy at Clark's Bears in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Visit clarksbears.com to reserve your tickets today.
I received my activation orders at 6:30 on Wednesday night. I arrived in Miami at 10:30 Thursday morning.
Concord Fire Chief Sean Brown went straight to the site of the condo collapse, reporting for duty on FEMA's Urban Search and Rescue Support Team, making sure rescuers have everything they need, every tool, every piece of equipment.
It's an opportunity to just assist these folks to do any rescues, to do any recoveries in a respectful and dignified manner.
Chief Brown has trained with these rescuers, responded to other disasters with them. He says they're working 20-hour shifts, taking short rests in tents, hotels, and now a cruise ship nearby donating rooms.
Many of these people that are working the incident from day one are my friends, they're my colleagues, and so to be down here to be able to help them, yeah, it certainly means a lot to me.
He's been called to other building collapses, called to assist after hurricanes Katrina, Harvey, Irma, Maria. Now he's working on plans for a possible impact from Hurricane Elsa.
To ensure that we can keep the responders safe and continue operations as long as possible.
So far, he is the only National Urban Search and Rescue Team member called from New Hampshire.
I'm very fortunate to have that support at home, both my family in the fire department in the city of Concord.
Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Vaccinations have dramatically reduced COVID-19 cases, death state officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Lost River Gorge in Boulder Caves is one of New Hampshire's greatest natural wonders and an unforgettable.
Right now, 17 people are hospitalized in New Hampshire with COVID-19. But at Wentworth Douglas and Dover, not a single COVID patient has been admitted in the past few days.
It's the first time in a long time that we've had a stretch with no COVID positive patients to care for. And it's a wonderful thing for our patients, for our staff, and for the community.
The hospital's infection prevention director says vaccinations have made a huge difference.
We saw a definitive correlation in the last few weeks between those patients who were inpatients and very ill. They were not vaccinated.
Data from the state's Health and Human Services Department shows that since February, when vaccinations began, close to 34,000 people have tested positive, but only 385, about 1%, have been breakthrough cases in fully vaccinated individuals. So 99% of positive cases were in people not vaccinated.
For anyone who hasn't been vaccinated yet, now's a great time to go ahead and get vaccinated so that we can try to prevent any type of resurgence of COVID-19 that might happen this winter.
Especially with the Delta variant gaining a foothold across the country.
If we can accomplish this with a 54% fully vaccinated rate, imagine what we can do with an even greater vaccination rate.
According to Dr. Daly, the Delta variant can be more infectious and potentially result in more severe illness. And while it is not the predominant strain in New Hampshire so far. It is expected to increase in the coming weeks. We're live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 cases rise again as no new deaths reported. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Come see Darla and Hildy at Clark's Bears in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Visit clarksbears.com to reserve your tickets today.
DHHS reporting 35 new cases of COVID-19 and no new deaths. All counties are still seeing minimal levels of community transmission. Active cases are up to 181. That's the fourth straight day that number has gone up. 17 people remain hospitalized. The state says the vast majority of people testing positive are not fully vaccinated. Since February 1st, when vaccinations began, 34,000 people have tested positive. Only 1% were breakthrough cases in fully vaccinated individuals. 99% were not.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester police honor officer who died in the line of duty 100 years ago. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltade's, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltade's Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
He is a century gone, but the Manchester police are making sure that Inspector William Moher is not forgotten. On July 2nd, 1921, Moher was shot in an exchange of gunfire with a robbery suspect. That suspect died. Moher survived until the next day.
It happened so long ago, people really think they kind of forget about it, and it's just wonderful for the recognition.
Which continues to inspire us even though it is 100 years later.
On Friday, the Manchester Police Department held a ceremony for Inspector Moher, the first time he's been individually recognized for his service and sacrifice in 100 years.
It's special because he was always special to us growing up, the family lore. He was the hero.
And a hero for several reasons. He came from Ireland at 18 with just a suitcase, worked to bring his 10 brothers and sisters over, which today has grown into a big extended family. He was a police officer for 23 years and was 57 when he died. This may be the first dedicated memorial service for Inspector Moher, but it will not be the last. Manchester police say they will make this ceremony an annual event.
So yes, it is sad. It's sad that he was forgotten, but it's an extremely happy occasion today to see that he is remembered.
I think he's revered. He was a guy who was 57 years old, and he's out chasing bad guys. So you got to give him his respect, and that's what we do when we come here.
Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. "12-year-old reported missing, found safe in Manchester." Police in Manchester said a 12-year-old girl who was last seen Friday morning has been found safe. Manchester police issued an alert Friday afternoon for the 12-year-old girl, saying she was last seen at about 6 a.m. Police said a notice at about 6:15 p.m. to say she has been found, but no other information was released. 22 dead, 126 people remain missing. Let's take a listen to that video from WPBF 25 News.
Just more sad news, and of course overnight we heard that an actual City of Miami fireman found out that his small daughter was found in the rubble of the condo collapse. Today, for the first time, I talked to one of the rescuers right there on the mound, and I asked them how they go on searching in the face of this unimaginable sadness and hardship. As search and rescue teams continue their grueling work in the rubble of Champlain Tower South, they're aware that one of their own, a City of Miami firefighter, lost his 7-year-old daughter to the collapse, her body one of 2 discovered overnight.
They asked us is how do we feel throughout the day?
Task Force 4 member Julio Ramos is the medical specialist for the team. If a survivor is found or a rescuer hurt, he will attend to them. He says he doesn't allow himself to feel much emotion in order to do this work for demanding 12-hour shifts.
Not that we're unemotional, we're actually very 100% driven. So I don't have time to feel emotions right now. What we have time is to make sure that we try to accomplish our objectives every day.
The teams are not stopping, even with the threat of Hurricane Elsa bearing down. Governor Ron DeSantis saying the state is on a dual track, preparing for a storm and still trying to find victims.
So we are going like we normally would with these things. This is just what we do, but we're adding this special emphasis on this site because we understand the sensitivities involved.
The first day of the collapse, rescuers tried in vain to reach a woman who was calling for help from behind smashed concrete at the bottom of the collapsed tower. The assistant fire chief briefed the mayor this morning on more of what happened.
Talked about that she could potentially have been in shock, so she couldn't sort of follow instructions, and then the voice just sort of faded away.
Rescuers were devastated, but Ramos says they just keep on going.
When I'm off the 12 hours, my mindset is, okay, hey, how do I prepare myself for the next 12 hours that I got to go back?
I have not lost any hope, and that's why these guys will keep going and keep going until we pull every person out of that rubble.
Lots of hope and some true heroes here in Surfside. And the rest of the condo tower is now slated to be demolished. The mayor signing an emergency declaration. However, FEMA is telling us it's a delicate operation, it's dangerous, and it could take weeks. Live in Surfside, I'm Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.